Hi guys, rubber band powered time again. We're going to make a rubber band powered TV remote. I was going to use this ball pen, cut it apart so we can just use the plastic tube for the axle tube, but then I noticed I got this hard black plastic tube already. I thought it was a drinking straw in my stock, but it isn't. It's a hard plastic tube, so I'm going to use that. Stick that on the front. On the back we'll have a shorter tube, and rather than trying to get the rubber band in the middle, we'll use two rubber bands, one on either side. So that's the reason for using the hard plastic tube. That'll go on the front, and then we can have a rubber band connected to there and a rubber band connected to there, so we'll have two lengths. That'll probably overpower it, so I'll look for the weakest rubber bands I can find. Bright sunlight this morning. That might make it a bit difficult to see what we're doing. Got shadows. I thought I'd better show you the back axle in a bit more detail, because it's not the sort of back axle setup I normally do. Because we're going to be winding the rubber bands outside rather than in the middle, I've made it up. Well, it's still the normal bamboo skewer, still the normal CDs with bottle caps in the middle for hubs, but what we've got now, that drinking straw is the bit that I'm going to attach to the back of the remote control in this case. Then I've got two more bottle caps facing inwards, and the idea of them is they hold the axle in position, and they also stop the rubber band when we wind it up there. They'll stop it getting caught up with the axle tube. The only thing I'm a bit worried about is because these are so far out, the axle is going to tend to twist or bend. But I'm just going to attach that to the back there, and you'll see those caps allow the axle to move side to side a little bit, but they're not going to touch the bodywork, and also they're going to keep the rubber band in the gap. Now today I'm trying out Blu Tack. I expect it's available under other names in other places, but it's for temporary sticking things to walls and together and that sort of thing. We used to use it a lot for business meetings, so we could put up notices on the walls. Anyway, I've just rolled some out into a worm shape, I suppose you could call it. And my plan is to wrap that round the back there. And then use that to stick it on there. Whether that's going to work or not, I don't know, because I've just thought of it and thought I'd give it a try. I've done the same sort of thing at the front. So that's our car. So no hot glue there today, although I did use hot glue to put the hubs onto the CDs. There's a video on how to do that if you check out my video description. No idea if these are any good. They're certainly thin. I think I might have to put hooks, little bits of barbecue skewer on each axle, or each side of the axle here, so we can hook the rubber band on easily, because normally I just hold it in place and wind it up, but I've only got two hands, so I can't do both sides at the same time. Yeah, I'll have to put some hooks on there. There we are, two little hooks. I actually used a toothpick, just cut the ends off, and a bit of super glue just to stick them to the axle. So that means we can now just put the rubber band over there, and the same on the other side, so that holds them in place, and I can just wind it up easily. So we'll see if that works. Camera. Oh, didn't quite do the full distance, but we had some wheel spin at the beginning. So I expect I could put rubber tyres on it, and then we'll get the distance. This time I've put the rubber tyres on to give us extra grip. If you want to know how to do that, there's a link in the video description to a video that shows you how to do it. It's very simple, it's just strips cut from rubber gloves and stretched around the CDs. You can use balloons, you can cut strips from balloons, but I find rubber gloves are a bit more durable. The camera. So, off we go. That's better. Full distance, no wheel spin. Summary time. What have we got? We've got a rubber band powered remote control. For the fun of it. CDs for wheels, so that's 4 CDs. Bottle caps for the hubs, so that's 8 bottle caps for the hubs. But we also use 2 more bottle caps just there to keep the rubber bands away from the axle tube. We've also put little pegs or hooks on the axles to make it easy to attach the rubber bands. They're just super glued onto the bamboo skewer axles. The front axle tube is a hard piece of plastic, so it doesn't bend when we wrap the rubber bands around them. So we've got twin rubber band power. That gives much more power than I normally give it, so I've used the thinnest rubber bands I could find. And to attach the axle tubes to the remote control, I've used Blu Tack, which means if I squeeze it hard enough, we can pull it straight off again. So we can give Nanny back the remote control. Job done.